Okay. I think I got it going. There we go. Cool. Turn down the desktop audio a little bit. Just because Arena audio is probably playing there. So let's do that. Let's do that. Minor tweaks here. Okay. Everything I think sounds good. I'm not worried about privacy settings right now. And I know nobody's in the chat because I know that I have not done this for a long time. So, we're just going to crank maybe one more draft in, which unfortunately I think you may actually see me buy some gems. Because this deck hasn't done much and refuses to do much, but let's keep cranking it, because, you know, hey, as soon as I go 3 here with this one, we just get to go and do another draft. And that's not the worst thing in the world. So, whether you saw that little thumbnail down there, I have the mythic that lets you proliferate twice, so that's why I figured I can keep this mill card, like, that really doesn't do anything in the deck, because it's like, alright, if I'm proliferating twice, I'm putting 2 oil counters on it. It mills an amount of cards based on the oil counters, so it only mills 2 to begin with. But, like, okay, I think I can roll with that. It's like a turn like this where it just doesn't do anything, and that's the downside. I would like to throw a 1/1 under the bus. That one is more mana efficient. So I need to rip a land here, but like, I have plays even without ripping a land, but it's just better if I rip a land. Because then I can just cast this guy and still hold up counter magic or Font of Progress. I mean, it's a good card, 3/1 with Toxic 2, but, like, what are you gonna do? See, here's where it's bad, because now there's nothing I can do. That doesn't have reach. No. See, it's hard, but this has been the extent that this deck has been doing to me, where it just, there's a patch of probably 5 lands right here, and then it's going to give me nothing like here. That's Arena for you. I mean, it's Magic for you in general. But in a limited format, to have 3 of your 17 lands, and then you're sitting there going, okay, 14 out of 33 cards are lands, I should, within, like, the first couple draws, be able to draw a land. Well, that's annoying. I can sacrifice, but that doesn't do anything. So, cool. Yes, you can proliferate the poison on me. That has Death Touch. How big are you? You're a 2/4. Okay. Well, I'll take it. So that's unlike MTGO, which keeps a better track of draw of what turn it is and the draws. Like we're talking about, like that's your fourth draw, and you know you didn't your fourth, fifth. I don't know what it was draw, and you still hadn't hit a land. That's the downside to having this counterspell, too. Like counterspell it's not good, but you know it proliferates. So there's things that it's capable of doing. I am corrupted. If the creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. When it attacks, okay. And it's creatures, so it includes itself. So you hit me for 2. It doesn't have toxic or anything. So for Mirrodin, that's a rebel with flying. We're very weak to flying, as you can tell. I mean, it's just 17 to... Hey, that's up to you if you want to let my menaced creature get in for free. Okay. So long as we keep creatures off the field. I have 4 of these mesmerizing doses. Canker Bloom, I probably shouldn't let that resolve, but I want to see if he decides to use it on this font. Because this isn't an artifact. Okay. Like, I think we're okay with them using the Canker Bloom on, of all things, just a font of progress. It's balanced. Yeah, it's the same as Aether Spellbomb. So that's also why I'm probably playing too cautiously that turn, especially. But it's like, okay, what's the goal here? Life total is a resource. 6 damage on the field. I mean, it's 6 damage on the field, but we can block that one if he chose to use it. But it's destroy target enchantment, artifact, or proliferate. So he can, if he doesn't want to be milled for 3 cards a turn, 23. That's their graveyard. I'm scanning over it too quickly, but it doesn't matter. So we got Charge the Mites. That's actually a good one for us to get rid of. And then another Canker Bloom and a land. Plague Nurse. I don't like Plague Nurse. So I'm going to counter Plague Nurse. With a CMC of 4. Yep, it's 3 damage that we pretty much have to take. Nothing I can do about that. Because the wording on Plague Nurse is each other creature you control gains Toxic 1, but it's a 3/4 with Toxic 2. Like, that's a pretty good card. I'm going to sack draw. Okay. Well, okay. It's a race. And then, yeah, he can kill the... At any point in time, if they want to kill our Font of Progress, they can. It's not an artifact. I can only... Well, I mean, he can use it to destroy the enchantment that's actually got his Blight... Branch Blight Stalker tapped down, but... choosing not to. Okay, Ossification is going to exile the Gulping Scrapchap. Which is not cool, but there's nothing I can do about that. You can still attack and sack. And I have 0 blockers now that your Ossification has resolved. So, do what you're gonna do. But then, of course, Arena is Arena, so you have slow players who are gonna be sitting here going like, ooh, ah, ooh. And, you know, debating what... yeah, I can't see our opponent's hand. I don't know what those 2 cards are, but they're going to sit there and go, ooh, maybe I should, you know, okay. Okay. I cast another one. You put me on a 2-turn clock. I don't... I mean, I'm on a... yeah. Oh, man. I think I have to, just for the sake of, like... But if that's a removal spell, then we lost anyway. Like, alright, I can block one thing, cool, proliferate again, but if, you know, I don't know what that it's like, alright, and they're trying to draw into the removal spell, fine. You know, but that's where we're at, because we're dead in 2 turns to the flyer. I was trying to protect against Toxic too much that we're dead to the flyer, so it doesn't matter. Ow. That's for having the bounce, but the bounce would have just saved us a turn. And I think you need to cast the land, great. I think you need to cast something. Do I get a flyer? I do! So that's good. But that's an artifact, so he can actually blow it up. Oh no, it's a Phyrexian bird. But I just assume a lot of Phyrexian creatures are artifacts. I guess it's the border. It's a flyer, so if you have a Crushing Canopy, charge the mites. Okay. I think he misread that card. That would have been 4 damage. So this is keeping us in the game. And now is the time, if you're going to use it, to blow up our Font of Progress, to do it. He misread the card. He technically still controls the branch Blight Stalker. Bleh, 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 bleh. Alright. That's a hell of a waste, but here it goes. Got nothing better to do. There goes the volume a little bit. I have the desktop audio turned down. I'm sure it's not too bad for you guys. I just got 6 cards off of their deck. And it's a Flensing Raptor. So 2 lands. Haste, Toxic 3, the Raptor, and Planar Disruption. Yeah, so that's annoying. Double Strike Flyer. We get them on 2 turns anyway if they... because of this. Well, Fiddle TD. Fiddle TD. They could have just let the damage come through, so I'm not, like, concerned about that. And then they're corrupted, so this is a full-on counter. And then we just win by milling them out. Not how I expected on winning, but... Oh, no. They move it to the right creature. Yeah. They're seeing the line. I can only block one thing. Yep. They saw the line. Oh, man. Well, we tried. I just have no flying defense. Yeah, no, that's game. But... it doesn't matter. I block. Cool. Yeah, they saw the line. Oh well, we get to draft again. A lovely blue-black 0-3 deck. Proliferate and Toxic, but I kept missing land drops. Like, there's just nothing I can do certainly in a limited format like this. Like, you miss a land drop and you're gone. Like, I just... it's very frustrating. And I make that noise genuinely because it's like... that same mythic I've had in 2 different drafts, and they both kind of underperformed. Like, one was 2-3, and the other, it was this 0-3. And it's... I'm not going to go find it in the library so you can see it, but it's the mythic that proliferates twice. It doubles your proliferate triggers. Evolved Spinoderm is a fine rare. Like, just take it. It's 5/5, and there's no reason... nothing in there necessarily jumped out. Like, that's a fair enough rare to first pick. And green is very good in this format. So now you get into that nitty gritty. Sure, the rare is still there, but the rare is the land. So do you want, green blue? Okay, proliferate. That we can proliferate oil trigger, oil counters. I'm like, what are those things called? But I think Atraxa Skitterfang is the pick. It's colorless. It doesn't lock you into anything. And it can give things flying, vigilance, death touch, or lifelink. I've been got by this card because it just gives something flying out of the blue. So that is one. That card's useless and limited. Just everything is an artifact. So Okay, Sawblade Scamp. Remove an oil counter. So every time you cast an, but then it's just a pinger. That's got 2 oil counters and it can have haste. Do we want to go green-red? I don't know. Or do we want to... I mean... Whenever you proliferate, you... So I think I'll take that as my pick. But it's... Notice I've, you know... Well, I mean... Alright, just so you can see it so it's not in the sideboard, like... That's what I grabbed, but... Just because it was the best card in the pack, I'm not wed to the color black. Just like I'm not. I mean, I think Malkador's Watcher is actually pretty good, but you may sacrifice it to proliferate. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power. Meh. When is its power going to be anything more than 1? Like, how are you, unless you're proliferating on it? The Fuseling is the you can proliferate onto the Fuseling, and if the Fuseling had that ability, I'd feel better about that. When it enters the battlefield, create a red a 1/1 goblin. So it's a 3/3 that brings a buddy with it. Return target creature from your graveyard. No, I'll take the. I'll just take the Skull Bomb. You're running out of when you're running out of time, and you know the stupid thing is going to auto pick for you. That Plague Nurse is very good, but I'm going to take the Necrosquito. No, I take that one, but I don't. I'm not in love with it. Toxic 1, when it enters the battlefield, up to 1 target creature becomes a 4/4 as long as it remains on the battlefield. Okay, I mean 3 mana and you can just swing with a 4/4. Assuming you have, you know, just a 4/4 sitting there is okay. I'll take the other Skull Bomb. I'll take the other egg. And maybe it just goes to show like I'm not doing my research on limited cards in this set or something, because I can do like I can do anything. Like I'd probably say you're wed to black maybe now, but you're not wed to green and you're not wed to red, and you certainly don't have any blue or white. So if like some late pick really good blue or white card comes along, then you do that. I keep trying to make the Icar synthesizer work, and for whatever reason, just the cards aren't lining up the way that I need them to line up, to where I don't get. I'm not drawing the non-creature spells to give it oil counters, or it's having to be used to block like that 3/1, the branch blight stalker. So it's unfortunate, but I'm having to use it in that way. But I've just had some terrible luck with blue. Permanents with oil counters. I mean, it's fine. I'll take the Black Cleave. Again, I'm not wed to this as a second color. You can still play it even if you're not playing any red. It's a fine enough card. Return from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped if it's corrupted, but it's just a 2/2 that can cause. So it's a skeleton. It is a skeleton. Ha 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 ha. I didn't even look at the creature type. Whatever. It auto picked the Merc. Yeah, the most useless. I mean, yeah, it tutors up a Mer, but I was probably just going to take the 1/1 red card that pings. Again, not excuse me, not married to red, but sure. And I don't think duress is good in limited, so it gets but it's got trample, so anything with an oil counter. You need to like that's good because it can proliferate, but man, the lack of flavor text, because I know that this card has flavor text on it. Very few cards I know have flavor text. Apparently that's an issue. I don't think it's an issue, but I've heard people say, by which I mean I've seen the articles online, you know, oh, there's no flavor text on Magic cards anymore. So what? Hello. I mean, uh, uh, I don't think you say no to Phyrexia, to Atraxa, but like I don't know how I can feasibly, especially because this, even though this is dual land, it's the wrong colors. It's like, uh-oh. I'm green, black, and I can figure out the white and the blue. Reveal the top 10 cards. For each card type, you may put a from among the real into your hand. The rest on the bottom. So she just refills your hand. That's pretty good. And then flying vigilance, death touch, and lifelink is pretty good. Well, this kind of helps make up our mind for us. Zip, zip. I'll just move everything. You know, it's like, those are both very good. And then whenever you proliferate, you can make a 3/3 golem or give target artifact flying or lifelink. So we're only in pack 2, and that was pick 2. So that's pretty good. And then we take this guy, because he's really good. At some point, if we see a prophetic prism, we should take it. Because that's like one of the... It's not a good card, but I think it's one of the few fixing cards out there. But to make Atraxa work that we're going to need. Because it's going to be one of those things where you have like your 8 lands, your 6 lands, or whatever, and then like literally one of each of just these off colors that don't really do anything in the deck. Like, and that kind of pulls me back. And I mean, here's the Fuseling and here's the Forge. Like, this is going to be a mess. I don't think it's going to be 5-color good stuff, like, because that's impossible. But, like, Arrest Forge is a good card. So, but, like, these are 2 very good cards, too. So, like, red is open, and it just sucks. That we're sitting here like, I don't know what to do, like, because red is open. Give something flying, you know, can be somewhat reasonable, and then the other draws. Nebraska's Fall. I've been got by this card too many times, but I'll take the Scrap Trap and figure everything else out later. First Strike and Trample. Fine on a 2/2. Like, I think it's like mono black, splash a couple cards. Mono black, be creative with everything else. So 5 color everything else, but, you know, otherwise you're just playing a mono black deck. It's like, oh, well, that makes sense. Equal to the number of artifacts you control. I'm not necessarily playing a ton of artifacts. So I think I'm just going to take... I'll take the 1/1 flyer. The 1/1 flyer with toxic, like, that's decent. You know, I can't complain about that. Ooh. Ooh. So, like, not good cards. Like, I'm not, like, these aren't, like, amazing cards, but, I mean, I'm okay with that. Yeah, it auto-picked, but I'm okay with that. It's not a end of the world, you know, bad, amazingly good or bad card. That took the Bone Picker Scourge. The only reason I was oohing is just because that Dune Mover tutors a land to the top of your library, and then you're sitting there going, ho ho ho, because it still wants me to take the Vraska's Fall. Or I want to take the Vraska's Fall. The LSV number system is saying, like, no, don't. Whatever, random life gain card that's halfway decent. Fuseling, hey, I'm surprised actually the Fuseling made it all the way around. I'll just take the equipment, you know. Again, I think red's open. That too is a bomb. So, I mean, we're in these colors, and that's the bad part, but the good part is... Second artifact, draw a card. But it doesn't have toxic in and of itself, so, I mean, that's a good ability if you're dealing with something with toxic. Okay, so here's the fun part, where I think that card is okay. Like, making everything a 5/3 is cool, but in addition to their other types. But it is 8 mana. Well, okay, fine. Fine. I've convinced myself to just say screw it. This is a just say screw it kind of deck. But when that Prophetic Prism comes back around, we hope we're taking it. Because we need fixing up the ass. Wazoo, whatever term you want to use, but we need a lot of fixing to make this work. Reasonably work. Because it ain't gonna work otherwise. Search your library for a locus. For a sphere or locus land card. Oi. I mean, do you take something like that just because? Whenever a creature, if it has one or more oil counter, put an oil counter on it. Creatures you control with oil counters. Okay. That's colorless, so something be said about colorless cards. Return target creature to your hand. Of all the land cards in all graveyards. No, that's useless. I actually don't have a lot of proliferate. Is what's into like. I don't know why those are why she got separate over there, but anyway. Permanent cards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast non-creatures. No. Not interested. When it dies, draw cards equal to the number of oil counters. Yeah, that's great, but mean, do I take that, or do I just take... I'm just gonna take the Toxic Menace. Oh, I wish I had more time. +1/+1 for each oil counter on it. Whenever another is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on it. But these have Proliferate, so... I'll just take the Proliferate card. Method of my madness, take the Proliferate and call it a day, but... I'm well aware that some of these aren't good. I'm just taking it for the sake of taking it. There's the Prophetic Prism, so yes, take the Prophetic Prism. That because it has Proliferate. And we have some amount of counters here. Because that has oil counters. Every time something dies, it gets another one. So it synergizes with some of these. Some of the well, okay. Alright, take that one, sure. I think we may be playing just 5-color nonsense and lose every game. But with a emphasis on... There's a Vraska's Fall, cool. Well, that's 23 cards, though. So that's 23 cards with nothing. And it just mono black with, you know... So that's... Well, okay. One of those, I guess... Oh, that was the Black Leaf, duh. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, but... Let's think. Let's think. Let's think. Alright. Back. Enters, discards. Search for mirror. No. And that one is choose one. Proliferate just happens to be one of the options on it. Man. I think there's a lot of good red in there, and we probably should just be playing black-red, but for funsies, literal funsies, I want to see how this guy works, which is probably not very good, but so, you know, let us see. Um, Ella Kata, Drapsnat, and Alistria, welcome. Welcome to the chat. I haven't been on stream in a long time, and I don't stream particularly consistently, but welcome. So I think this is fine. I can anoint with Affliction to get rid of something early. If I need to, and then... But maybe the matchups... Like, the algorithm that Arena uses is such that... Take it. I don't know. There was my window to anoint with Affliction, but... I don't know if I want to... What does Atlas do? It just adds a mana of any color whenever it becomes tapped. If I have 3 or more poison counters, I die. Okay. Well, then let's spell bomb. Let's anoint. And go. Toxic 1. When it dies, it proliferates, right? Yeah. But it's a 2/2, and that's a 1/1 flyer. Whenever it becomes tap. Okay, it's a trigger that recognizes, but I don't have 3 poison counters. At the beginning of upkeep, put an oil counter on another target non-token artifact or creature. Create a 1/1 activate only if an oil counter was removed from a permanent you controlled this turn. I see. Yeah, he's going to do that, proliferate the oil counter on me. Uh-huh. Okay. I have 3 out of the 4 colors I need to just win the game, pretty much. So I now have 3, and yeah, I lose a life every time you tap that. So gain and drain is very much a thing. It's a 1/5. That's the most efficient thing to do with my mana. Atraxa Skitterfang is just a 2/2 at the beginning of combat on my turn, so I can't do it defensively. To just give something, you know, Death Touch or Flying. So yeah, I'll just do that. So only if it was removed. Yeah, I have to take the stupid poison counter. It is what it is. Well, we're on an 8 turn clock, technically. Annoying. Annoying, annoying, annoying. Okay. So we finally got a land. And that counts for something. He's more than happy to... Well, I'm surprised he didn't, actually. Because I'd trade that off and then you'd proliferate, but... Fair enough. They both see it. And then I can't do much of it about the flyer. Until I draw planes. Okay. So Venzer's dead. Neat. We're about to lose to a 1-1. Like, basically we got hit 10 times by a 1-1 with Toxic. Not quite exactly, but basically. I'll give yeah, it's free block. Like, that's fine. But depending on what's in their hand, like... Hey, there we go. Whoop. Choose up to one card of each type, eh? Okay, well, no. No. Sorcery... Land... Creature, artifact. Whoop. Decline. There's no reason why... Like that, yeah, sure, that proliferates. It takes me to 8, but... You need to stack the toxic trigger on it. and remove my flyer, which is a 7/7. And if you do attack, well, fuck.
I've made it just in time. Kneel before the Emperor of Kamigawa.
Okay. Well played. Like, that's one way to survive. Because then, yeah, I don't have a flyer to get you on the crackback. That was... I got by an eternal wanderer. No, I didn't. I didn't have fun because that is like, wow. I didn't... I didn't realize it was... They choose the creature you keep. And then, of course, they had the Vraska's Fall. So that was just the perfect, like, combination of, like, haha, got you, na of cards. And it's like, wow, that's not nice. I mean, that's kind of been my day in the, you know, when it comes to Arena, but I'm just saying, it's like, wow, that's not what I expected to happen. And then you proliferate on it, so yeah, he's gonna get the Ichor Synthesizer to work where I'm taking 3 damage a turn. I'll never get it to work, because that's my luck. Jeez. It's a 2/2. Oh, wow. I mean, it's a free block, but do you. Yep. Skeeto is dead, and nobody can block the 3 turn. Just 3 damage a turn. Fine. If that's what you're gonna trade, like, fine. And of course you traded it because you have another one. How am I supposed to know that I'm walking into that big of a trap? No, it's just take 3 a turn. Kinda have to. They're not corrupted, but... Man... I mean, I'm 1 island away from casting that. Mm-hmm. Go away. 2 damage is better than... Oh, man. I'm on a longer clock, but it's not. Okay. Okay. Great. Not an island. Pay the 4. I'm still dead, but pay the 4. At least I can't fall out of silver. I probably should have just built black-red and called it. This hand sucks. But I kind of have to keep it. Each other player draws a card. So if I cast, he draws a card. If he casts, I draw a card. This is how that's going to work in Limited. But so that's a 2/3, and that's a 2/2. I mean, a 2/2 flyer, as I just got by one, is very valuable. However, that's whenever you cast an artifact spell, it becomes a 4/4. Not necessarily relevant. So I cast my 2/2, and then you're going to hit me for 7, right? Because you'll bounce it or something. Cast a spell bomb or skull bomb, excuse me, just to activate it. That's my life. I mean, we need one more island and another land. That second island would give us access to the Vivisurgeon's Insight, which is what I put in as my 40th card. Yep. Sure. Hey, taking 4 is a lot different than taking... Yippee skippy. Okay, there's a toxic thingamabopper, but... Oh, and it's an artifact, so of course you acted. So yeah, he's got the cards to make that functional consistently. It would have been better if my 5th land was more playable than it actually is, but it's fine. It at least makes the proliferate a little bit better, in the sense that they have a toxic counter on them. It's not good. Yeah, so every turn this 4/4 is going to come at us. I didn't realize that that would be the case. Really? Counterspell? Okay, so you counter it. Yep, cool. Proliferate. There's nothing to proliferate. I'm not attacking. So one of the two cards was a counterspell. What's the next one? Another thingamabopper. So it gets +1/+1, sure. And of course activates that. And now we're dead. So it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yep. The Eye of Malkador was active the whole damn game. Wow. Ah, shit. I don't get it. I mean, I get it. Like, there's... You know, they're within rhyme or reason, but... You see nothing. I mean, I'm sure you already saw it, but... I'm just trying to be a little... I mean, you can screenshot the moment, I guess. But... Please don't. And respect my privacy in that regard, but... But I understand, so it is what it is. If you see that. But it's easy for me to just cancel a card. Draftsmith, get out of here, please. I'm not a horrible drafter, but I'm not a, like... I'm not a pro, but I'm surprised that I can't get out of silver. We can... Okay. You saw what that deck was. You didn't... And you kind of sort of got to see the previous deck. But it's one of those things where... I bought into the Atraxel on that one, and we can talk all about, you know, well, that's where you screwed up. You bought into Atraxel. But even so, like, we just needed a couple draws to go better. Second Island, or you get the missing, whether it was a plains or an island, card that you needed to cast Atraxa, and you're in the game. Like, you're still in the game. Like, that was just crap luck. I mean, I really like the Tainted Observer, but the Tainted Observer is getting you into that 4-color area that you don't really want to be in. Furnace Punisher, every time it'll deal 2 damage unless you control 2 basics. I don't think that's good in limited, because in 2 basics, or in limited, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm trying to say. Everyone's gonna have 2 basics in limited. Like, you might be able to sneak 2 damage off of it, but that's about it. Like, you play it if you have to. I don't know why it's LSV gives it a 3.0 ranking. Like, there are the I don't know what they're called, because I don't follow spoiler season as much as I used to, because I don't play as much as I used to. But the tap 2 to draw a card, then like sack the land is what I'm talking about. Whatever they're called, and those are non-basic, of course. But it's like, is someone gonna necessarily have that many non-basics to make that functional? And by, you know what I mean by when I say functional, like truly functional. Look at that curve. A 1 drop, a 2 drop, a 3 drop, and a 4 drop. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Very good card. You don't say no to a Phyrexian Angel that has double strike. Only if your opponent, only if your opponent's corrupted does it have double strike. But I mean, come on. By the time, unlike some of the blue decks or some of the, well, white has toxic, but I mean blue. Well, yeah, I mean Venzer does, but I'm sitting here anyway. Me in my head. Welcome to my brain. It's a scary place. But I guess blue probably does have more than just Venser as toxic. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. I think black has the top. I mean, black, white because of the mites and what have you. And green. But straight up blue cards with toxic? Can't think of any right now. Mono blue. Oh, well, I mean, there's the cantrip. But it's not a can. Well, actually, it's not a cantrip, but it is +1/+3 and flying and toxic 1. It doesn't draw a card, so it's not a cantrip. But yeah, I have been unable to, like, LSV gives it a 1 and a 3. Like, obviously you need the non-creature spells to make it work, but, and we just got by it. Like, I have not been able to get that card to work, the Icar Synthesizer. And I have, like, 8 or 10 non-creature spells, but it's just by the time it becomes relevant, you know, there's nothing there. I mean, I'll take the cat. Meh. 3/2 if it's equipped. It does something, sure. Gets an additional +1, so this becomes a +3/+2. I guess. I don't know if I'll run that or not. Some of these early picks end up getting to stay just by virtue of me picking them early, and I'm too lazy to go back and pull them. Welcome to me as a drafter. But you're also seeing me as a drafter where I just cut a color. There's just a very good amount of white cards, and that's why they're getting cut. Or, you know, something else. But yeah, so Furnace Punisher. Uncommon, it's got a 3.0 rating, but I don't think it does. I mean, I guess it's a 3/3 menace, and that's what makes it good. Everyone's cutting black. Like, black is the popular color. Just take the Prophetic Prism and call it a day. -1/-1, proliferate. Meh. I mean, I guess. Just for the sake of a black card. That's actually not a bad one. Because that's an equipment that grants toxic. And, like, giving this guy +1/+1 and toxic? I Like, I can't complain about that. I don't think that's the... I mean, I'll take that. I will take that. It's another black rare. And if it's corrupted, all your creatures get plus... Like, obviously I want that to wheel back to us. I'm not really playing oil counters. Not in this deck, but I can see where that card is good. This one's just annoying because it's the create the 3/3 beast and then it's got flashback, which I want. It's Innistrad block is where. Oh, and there was another one, but that one was I think 4 mana base from the return to Innistrad. It like made a werebear. But maybe that was a 4/4, and that's why it was 4 mana. I don't know. Again, I'm overthinking things, and it's just like, shut up, man. Keep drafting. It's like, well, you get to enjoy my train of thoughts that go nowhere. As long as you control 2 artifacts. I mean, maybe. He keeps wheeling. Like, those cards keep coming back to us, so I'm not upset about that. Like, these are some real good green cards. So where it might have been a little more black or white heavy earlier, now it's green. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything here in the sense of taking a green card, but, like, cool. Like, those are some cool green cards. Tap a creature, neat, but no, I don't want the helm. Because that's just a +1 bot, which I guess is okay on him, but I don't really want +1 bot. Okay, 4/4. I'll take the 4/4 with Vigilance finally. Alright, Planar Onslaught over the cat. Over the kitty cat. You may return another target permanent. I control to my my hand, and if I do, so preferably something with an enter the battlefield effect, which none of these have. Because that's at the beginning of combat. That's not an ETB. Yeah, there's just some good green cards. I'll just take that one. We're not going to play it, but I'll take it. Hate Draft, which isn't really a thing on Arena. Like, you don't want your curve to be up here in 4. It just happens to be up here in 4, but the black isn't coming, because black is one of the more popular colors in this set, so it's naturally getting cut by someone. Or by this auto drafter over here, who has 5 things. Clearly an auto drafter. I mean, because it's just like, up, or they're waiting until the last minute, and then they just take it. But you can see how it's moving. Oh boy, we got something. It's a Sinew Dancer. It's gonna auto-select and... oh, did it freeze me out? It did. What's going on here? There it goes. That was awkward. I was gonna take the sinew dancer, but whatever. Maybe I want a sinew. Oh, good. I got one anyway. +2/+2 in haste. Flying in haste. Ooh. Yes, that is a good equipment. I'm still gonna take the Jawbone Duelist, but that I can see how that's good. Like you just get a 4/4 with flying and haste. Eh. I mean, I only have the 4 black cards, but still. Yeah, these don't have any ETBs. There's death triggers. Next time target creature would deal to one or more players this combat run. The next time target creature would deal to one or more players. So I can get 3 mites if I tell it to not, if I tell her to not deal damage, if I understand that correctly. Or something big, which, I mean, that's the biggest creature I have here. I don't know. Maybe I should have been taking the equipments. Toxic 2, but when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Return another permanent. I don't know if I take the bone pick. Just take the damn bone picker scourge, damn it. Okay. Maybe. I don't like that. It's just a 4/1 that, like, does stuff. So maybe the Zealot's Conviction, or the, I mean, that's 5 mana, so that's not practical, but if there is something with a better ETB like that, I don't know. I mean, that one's okay. I like the Exuberant Fuseling, by the way. I'll take it just because it's big. Like, it's a 5/5 that, alright, discard a card, you know, or... there's definitely something there. I mean, that one's better, I think. I don't think Dune Mover is necessarily what we want to be doing, but it's like, alright. Just take the red spell bomb, and I'm not gonna do anything with it. It's like, is it just me, or has red been open in like every draft, and red is just like, I don't think it's the weakest color in this set, but someone doesn't like it. Uh, okay. Oh, return target. Right, it's return target permanent. So there's something to be said for that. So I can take 3 cards anyway. But so I have 15 creatures, which is no, it's an okay number. It's not perfect. Um. Oh, he should be in there. Sorry. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So I can keep bouncing the prism and just drawing cards off of that and getting a mite. I don't know if I'm in love with the Doom Mover, but it is a card. Do we want to run it like? Well, yeah, I mean, hypothetically, and I know no one's gonna reply. But do we want to run it like this, or whenever another creature or artifact is put into a graveyard, put my counter on it? Remove 3 counters to exile the top card and and you may play that card this turn. Nah, I'm not in love with Orthodoxy Enforcer, but each other player draws a card. So yeah, that could hose me. But if I take out the 4/4 with Vigilance and play that one, then all my creatures at least get +2/+1, and that might be pretty good, considering I can have like a Might Factory here. I mean, not really, but kind of have a Might Factory. It's a 3/1, I get it. I can remove the Doom Mover, but it's still 15 creatures. Alright. I don't know. I do have a Might Factory with the Battlecry chick, actually. She's... Oh... Hero of Bladehold. That sounds right. But yes, the odd reprinting of Hero of Bladehold. Oh, good. Oh, that ain't good. That's worse. Thanks, Arena. You did, you're so kind to me. Oh, lovely. I just wasn't going to 5, so... Thanks, Arena. Oh no. I mean, it's got Toxic 1. I can bank on that, but oh no. No, 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 no. You. Well, he's got shenanigans, is all I can say. Okay, that's suspicious, but I let you do it. Yep, that's fine by me. Double strike is exactly what you think it is. Burn your next combat trick. Still, double strike is this exact same as... Yep, of course yours is indestructible. Up, and he has the hive. Fun, fun, fun. It doesn't matter. I just die. Now I just die. Because he has a mite factory. Yep. Oh boy. Yep. Toxic everything. And I bounce this permanent. And that permanent. And oh boy. And everything has lifelink because you're corrupted. I'm still dead. It doesn't matter because toxic, 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 toxic. I'm still dead. Everything. I don't know what he's... Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. You did the math, yeah, right? You did the math, you checked it? Checked your work? Awesome. Good job. Good job, buddy. You had to... You did an additional scan, and you determined that you had lethal. Like, what could they have? Oh. Nothing that gains me, like, that removes poison counters and, like, generates a creature that can block. Because that was kind of the buzzsaw I ran into. So they had the right shenanigans to keep themselves in the game. With that 2/2 first striker. There's the second first striker, though. I mean, credit where credit is due. And they play some big thing and go, yeah, I got you now. Bam. And just to briefly comment on those, like, did you have fun in this match? Oops, it tapped wrong. Crap. Well, whatever. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter, but it still tapped wrong. You know, a pox on the auto tapper. Yeah, sure. Because I just move it. Like, so long as the Death Toucher is out of the way, like, my life becomes I mean, it's a 4. Don't get me wrong, 4/5, but you know, so long as the auto temper, bleh, so long as that Death Toucher's out of the way, I at least have some freedom to swing in. Especially because I have some toxic creatures. Like, that was very good. So good on my opponent. But I just target itself because it's not actually dealing combat damage. And next time, target creature would deal combat damage to one or more players this combat. So his creature, I can target them, but his creatures don't deal combat damage to me during my combat. Of course. You know. Of course, of course. Well, I'd like to think that I can get in for some amount of combat damage here, but fine. What do you got? I gotta at least pull the combat tricks out of your deck. Okay. And I can't block with the other thing, so there you go. Removal is primo. The fact that that has vigilance is what is nasty about it. If it didn't have vigilance, then I could at least get in for some damage. I can't do anything. Just because it doesn't have just because it has vigilance. God. I don't... There's no point in sending the rat to its death. Oh, you proliferate. Oh, he's got 4 counters on him. Oh, man. You know, Ruthless Predation, followed by a Volt Charge. And I guess it was a Noxious Assault to get it to 6. No, just keep hitting me. Although, surprised because I didn't get a... Whatever. Hey, hey, hey! The Patcher lands, baby! It doesn't matter. The Angel is what I needed to pull me out. And... or something. Like, that's... It's a very good card. But... Removal, 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 removal. It's just gonna be hit instantaneously, and it did. So I got in for some chip damage, and I thought I was okay after cleaning out the Death Toucher, but great. Just great. No, that doesn't change anything. The odds that that becomes relevant as a card are low. Like, I need some... There, I have a 16th creature now. That's great. A 16th creature that's at least a 2/4. But honestly, I'm rather shocked. I mean, but that's... Look, that's arena for you. You can draft some pretty amazing bombs and be like, yeah, I got these bombs. Let's go. And then it's just like, okay. Whew, you know. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not moving up in silver. So, like, pair me against whoever you want to pair me, arena. But even so, it's just like, all right, this is the 6th game in a row that we'll have lost, and it's just like, cool. Nothing I can do about that. I mean, I'm gonna draw 2, lose 2. Put a poison counter on, and hope that one of those cards is actually playable. Here's where the Dune Mover's bad, but anyway. I don't necessarily need it. I can't block because it's got menace, but I don't. For Mirrodin, okay, so this is 4-2, and that's all it is a 4-2. Yeah, so that Dune Mover is... He's detrimental here. Well, which one do you want to kill? Your life total's a resource. Okay, you had that. So that triggers. There's nothing to proliferate. Oh, right. They have the poison counter. Owie. So, right. The angel doesn't have toxic in and of itself. Can't block. Ooh, and a planeswalker. How lovely. Just my luck. So, creates 3/3 beasts with toxic. Luke goes back. Good for him, but he's kind of screwed. So something's going to have to trade off anyway. I know it's dumb, but it's like, well, something's going to have to trade off regardless, so let him trade it. Sure. Decline. Not really interested in putting a basic land. Oh, God. What sort of predation or something stupid are you going to do? Okay, just gain 3 life. I don't mind an army of 3/3s if that's all you're gonna do with Luca is make 3/3s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably should have just cast the Angel, but my desperation to try to get some toxic damage through has been problematic. You may play lands from your graveyard. Choose target non-land permanent. If you haven't cast a spell, you may cast that card. If you do, so he can cast permanents from his graveyard, eh? Discard that card. It grants vigilance. Only has first strike on my turn. But it's got an equip cost of 4. A very big equip cost. So Luca has to tick up again, because that's what Luca does. Or you could just tick down again. I mean, whatever order of operations they're in, where they want to tick up to tick down. Okay, 4/4 with toxic. And you make a thing. Bing, 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 bing. Cool. Well, I have a 4/4 flyer now. I'm just going to step away for like 10 seconds.
I had this thing to call my own. Just one slip and it was gone. A minor flow and then it fell. I brought this house down on myself.
I swear I have the bladder of a 5-year-old. Yeah, I'm unable to react, so thankfully it, I guess, didn't tick down on my timer, so I'll take that. It's no big deal if it did. Like, I ain't freaking out about it, but I'll take it. Okay, they sack Luca away to get 3/3s up the ass. I'll take that. And now it has double strike. I meant to actually give it vigilance too, but oh well. I can at least hold up the charge of the mites because it's an instant. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures I control. So I see what he did. Recasting Luca. Whatever, that's fine. Because that's fine. Because what's going to happen here is it's got double strike and toxic 1. So toxic 1 becomes toxic 2. That's annoying, but okay. Yep. Sure. Lots of damage. Got it. But you're tapped out. So What are you doing now? Death Touch. I'm not gonna trade off. I'll take the one toxic. Like, what makes you think I would trade that? I'm not gonna trade any of my creatures for a 1/3. Okay. You got it, boss. I'm still not gonna trade any of my creatures, but you got it. Let me declare blocks. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't realize it could hit planeswalkers, but I don't care. Your army is dead. Okay. And then depending on what I draw here, which is nothing, so... Make a beast, cast a creature spell, do your thing. Did we lose just because this thing is... X is the greatest power among creatures, so it's 4, so you can only do 4 damage. Because it's like, yeah, if I didn't move, but I moved that defensively. Yeah. But that's not going to work the way you expect it to work. Well, I'll easily throw you under the bus. Because, yeah. Sure. It doesn't have toxic. It just sees the corruption. Well, now he has a flying blocker. Neat. But again, it doesn't have trample. That's just, you know, it is what it is. But the Death Toucher is out. You can't. You have to block because you can't take any damage. Well, that's an odd decision, but sure. It's the 3. Yeah. So the 3/4. So I kill the beast token. Sure. And then I just move. I'm doing that just to protect me from Luca coming back. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells. Okay. So, yeah. But if he wants to bring Luca back and then be like, oh, I can deal 3 damage. Great. You know what? Awesome. I don't care. So now he can't cast anything else. He can equip it. Or he can equip the Basilisk, I guess. Because that's got an equip cost of 3? Okay, cool. Ooh. I wanted the Angel. I definitely want to keep Vigilance on. I think I definitely want to keep Vigilance on the Angel. So let me see how this puppy works. No. Well, okay. He can just keep casting that. But the problem is he can put the Oil Gorge Troll there, and then that doesn't... But it's still only 1 damage double striking. So it doesn't do anything. I keep casting a blocker. Oh. Oh. I can move it, but... Yeah. His greatest power among creatures... is that secondary ability, greatest power among creatures. The greatest power among creatures is 3. If he equipped his greatest power among creatures, so he's just not equipping and not seeing that line. But okay, you got to keep casting the flyer to keep you in the game. But yeah, you just got to keep casting Incisor Glider. Now the question is, will he equip? Yeah, you can equip. You have that. Cost 3 to equip. You can use it. Yeah, there you go. Okay, you got to fight for it. Awesome possum. Cool. Now here's the... So, the Incisor Glider has to block our friend here. The Ichor Basilisk can pretty much just go into the Cruel Dude. So let's do that. I really want to submit 0, but sure. Let's do that. That has double strike, so that kills you. That's not what I selected. I selected the thing that you block. So we finally got a win. Congrats to us. We're off the schneid, perhaps due to some sloppy lines, but hey, we're off the schneid, and I'll take it. Like, it is what it is. So, alright. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is okay. The prism is just to draw cards, because I can keep returning it. I don't really need the fixing. Not on the level that, you know, that sound decks require. So that's a good card. That's a good card. And it's got trample. I at least have the reverse, but it's whenever it attacks, it gets +X. So it's gonna get plus. Currently, it would get +1 in that you only have one permanent with an oil counter on it. So that's something. Yeah, I'm not opposed to trading. Okay, Titanic Growth. Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, you forced damage through. Okay, let's draw a card then. Dune Mover, sure. I really don't. But you know what? It pulls a card out. So I'll do that literally just to pull a card out. I'm not in favor of it. It just pulls a card out. So, Combat Trick Part 2. Oh, lovely. In turn. Cool. Boop. Make me some 1/1s. But can I land? Well. I'm okay with that. I mean, they're okay with that, but, you know, hey. On the one hand, yeah, but on the other, it's... Eh. Okay, you gain life. Yeah, I see what you're doing there. It doesn't untap the creature, so... I mean, definitely that's a hit. No, you don't get to blow up my stupid crawling thing. Oh, but now I can't blow. I see. Oh, shit. I thought I was being cheeky. Well, there goes the loss anyway. So, yeah, I can't block. Well, that was a very good aggressive deck on their part for just grabbing all the creatures can't block. No, of course I didn't have fun. Like, I get off the frickin' schneid and can't block, can't block, can't block. So that was just very good sequencing on their part, and we got boned in more ways than one. Oi, hoi, 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 hoi. I mean, I got the gems. Uh, whatever. Whatever. Next. Take my oil counter McGee here. Oh, no, no, that's not oil counter McGee. That's a different card. I'm still taking it, but inherently just because it's a mythic. At the beginning of each combat, double the power. Yeah, that's pretty good. Everything gets double power. What are you talking about? Yeah, maybe you do play, some combination, but I'll take the... I take her, him, it, whatever, and we'll work with it. Let's see. It's like, all right, green, build around, and then figure out what the other color is, and maybe the other color is black, maybe it isn't. What does pack 3 hold? Or pick 3? Still pack 1. There's really no good ramp in this format. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you do, target creature gets -1 until end turn. So, kill something. Man, I'm going to take the Basilica Shepherd. I don't know. I'd rather keep myself open, and I like the ETB on that, especially if you're doubling the power of everything. But it's one of those things where let's see what the rest of the packs hold and go from there. But I like, hey, it's a 3D flyer. It doesn't have toxic itself, but it gives you 2, and here's another one. So, you just build a board. Which I like. I mean, that's just a 2/2. Big dumb idiot. And I don't need to take any more big dumb idiots. Okay. 4/3 is good, but let's keep our options open. I thought that was this mythic was the 4/4 that or 5/5, I think, that has like 5 oil counters on it, and you keep removing oil counters, and it goes from hexproof to trample to whatever. So anyway. take the toxic creature. He's still okay in that he plays with some of the toxic synergies here. I'll put the mirror in. I mean, it only won us one game last game. Proliferate guy. I mean, that's proliferate guy. That has toxic. The one can proliferate, but I'm not in the Titanic growth there. But, you know, but again, it's I mean, 1/3 with reach. I don't know about that. 1/3 with reach with proliferation, but I don't know about that. Hunter's Maze. When it's the only card in the pack, you kind of have to take it. And there's another one. So there's another Copper Longlegs that might wheel to us. Well, it's an instant, but if you do it right, then that trigger can happen because it's at the beginning of combat. So if you use it as a late game effect, watch something just get very big. I mean, because with things like that with trample, and this has, it just untaps and gets +1, so it doesn't inherently have trample. That's all I'm double checking. The creatures with evasion, that's going back in the deck. I'm sorry, I just misclicked on that. Gain X life, create X, and if it's 5 or more, destroy everything. Yeah. But I would hope Charge of the Mites comes back to us. Okay. I'm not going to jinx it. I mean, that's creature removal, but it costs 6 to remove a creature. So we're just combat tricks is how we're going to remove creatures. Other than this vanish into eternity, is what you're telling me. But if I have 7 mana, I can blow up the board and get 5 1/1s with toxic. I'm debating those. I'm not sitting here like freaking out that I have these cards. Like, it's okay. I'll take the Ichor Plate. It's just a matter of, do we draw? Well, not draw again. Wrong terminology, but do we get the green cards that have the oil counters on them? Like, this actually hasn't, like, it started out kind of good, but someone's cutting us. It's still a 2/3 for 3, which I don't think is awful. And it makes the Lattice Blade guy, you know, bigger, but nothing else has oil counters. So, ay Chihuahua. Okay. I can start blowing up my own land base to draw cards. It's not ideal. 10 creatures so far. Take the Bone Picker Scourge. Probably will be Abzanning it, and I don't think it's horrible. Because that at least gives us a couple more creatures. I mean, that's technically a creature. Just take the Skull Bomb. I guess take it. I don't think we need too many of these, do we? Yeah, I'll just take the Skull Bomb again. Not, you know, they're not great cards, but hey, they're cards. Oops. I'm not reading, so forgive me. Take it. Boop. There we go. Alright, now I can read. Alright, I'm probably gonna take you, Skitterfang. Predation, remove an oil counter, target creature goes +2/+2. And then if something's toxic, you can draw a card, yeah. +2/+2 and draw a card. What does this say? Oh, I can't, ran out of time, but that actually is probably pretty good. Because that is fixing. Hello. Miss Double Strike Angel. I like Double Strike Angel over some of the, you know. I gain 3 life, then if I control a opponent with an oil counter on it, I draw a card. Sure. Well, I might wheel that, though. I don't know. I'll humor me here. I'll take the Swooping Lookout. And then we'll see what comes around. Planar Disruption is removal. And that's just another 1/5. Take the removal. Death Touch, sure, because Death Touch is versatile. Ruthless Predation. Okay. There's a couple lands over that we're making. Yeah, there's only 2 lands, but 2 lands that we're kind of making up for that just exist. So I'll figure that out here in a minute because I have to figure that out. Things are at least kind of sort of coming in. I mean, I can make it big. The power of oil counters. The power of Christ compels you. The power of oil counters compels you. That is all teeth. Oh boy, that is an image. Pull it from the graveyard constantly. I'll take the equipment over the third Lattice Blade Mantis, and then last but certainly not least is a card that I would like to never run in a deck if I can help it. Okay. So what are we thinking? You still draw a card, but it gives something +2 and flying. So if I went like that, that's 18. That's 17 creatures. This is fixing, but it's otherwise it's a 2/1 with Toxic 1. We got some removal. So 17 thingies. I can always sack these 2 lands to draw. Really lousy. I mean, it's a reach trampler. Trample's good. Like, trample is good with what we have, but. Proliferate, huh? But that's got Menache. Skitterfang has oil counters. That's the Death Toucher. Death Touch is valuable. We've established. Toxic is valuable. We've established. I don't want to cut a land. There's no point in cutting a land. Yeah, man. I just think Proliferate's good because that can get us to Corrupt, which can turn on the Angel. And it proliferates on death and entry. Not that it matters that much, but, like, that's okay. Alas. I'm not going to exile. Oh. As soon as I mean, another land, and then the smart convert. Ooh, hello. No! Because Urbrass Forge gets out of hand very fast. You're either faking a combat trick or... And I'm not going to buy it. Yep. He had a combat trick. I just didn't fall for it. Okay. It's first strike on... Only on his turn. It is a 4/4. I can give it +3. Block. yes, you have... Yep. And the first strike just doesn't matter. Well, no, I have indestructible, so it does matter. And I just take the full damage. Great. Yeah, there was nothing I could do about that. You had the right combination of combat tricks where I'm dead on turn 5. Like, really? Really? It doesn't matter. I'm still dead. Like, I have to use both, and I'm still dead. And... I can't draw a land to save my life. Cool, spell bomb. 1/1 toxic. Well, your problem is you're the worst deck builder in the world, Austin. Well, I don't think these are bad decks. I don't think they're like... I mean, you... It's one of those things where, is the format that broken? You know, I don't think so. But... Man... Were my blocks that bad? I read the combat trick when I read it. So I did that properly. And then... But then they had an additional one. So they still had one when I went to play mine, and then they ended up... I don't remember that exact red card because I don't have the... Again, I'm not as up to date on spoiler season as I should be in terms of previous years when I was more into Magic. You know, first stream in definitely over a year. But yeah. That card's annoying, but thankfully this is a 1/5. And that's a 2/4. Scry 2, and they're both on the top. That's scary. The 1/5 is better because it can block whatever this is. And they scryed it on top. So whether those are artifacts that will activate it, or whether those are like bigger creatures or needed lands or bounce effects, etc., etc. Yeah, so it's an artifact that activates it. I'm forced to kind of block it. Well, I don't know what you're doing for one blue. That's going to... So that's where that comes into play. It's just a 4/4. There's something to be said for leaving an oil counter on it, but... At least when it comes to that Ichor Golem. And great. Everything goes away. They can leave me with a creature, which they do. They had a little exclamation point there, which threw me off. Okay, we run into a Planeswalker. And a Planeswalker at rare. Sure. I'm not incentivized to block. But if you think I am, my guess is he's just gonna blink. Like attack and blink. Yeah, it is what it is. You have an Eye of Malkador, yes. Because the +1 is at the beginning of end step, so yeah, it would just come back. It would come back as a 1/1 on the ground, but it wouldn't be tapped. So... of that player's next end step. Yep, you've cleaned my board out. Nope. So it doesn't come back until my end step. Oh boy, oh boy. Well... yeah. You know. I don't want to be facing down a Wandering Emperor. That is just removing my blockers. All day, all night. But of course, you get 2 4/4s out of it that you can then give Toxic to. Great. Man. It's just a 2/4. It's an artifact. Because it's just a 2/4, it can't kill anything. That's... It's a block. It's amore. No, it's a block. Surprise, surprise. They are artifact creatures. Okay. Cool. I'm not dead because I made that block with the crawling chorus. Because, well, I'm corrupted. Everything gets +1/+1, but even so, I only have one blocker. I have to use it. I don't think I'm dead, though. Like, I have to block the biggest thing. The biggest thing would be the 4/4, which becomes a 5/5. But 5/2/2, I think I'm still alive at 1. Yeah. I don't care. But I guess he recognizes that. But those two things can't block, and only one of them needs to come in. Because two things can't block. He's only got 3 creatures. I guess, and then the shepherd would probably be the thing that he lets through. But 2 things have to block this. So I think I still get in for so long as I flunge. Because the mites can't block. That's fine. A tough earned victory. Yeah, it just gives you like 250 experience and no mastery orbs. Oof. That's a bad one. Like, you hang on to it, but it's a bad one. Lucky me. But that's what it boils down to. I don't think that's a good card in Limited. I think it's actually a rather shite card. No point attacking into it because it's toxic doesn't work like. So you get your. Whenever you cast the. Oh, so because of the proliferation, I see why he's playing it, but. Beyond that, I don't think it's a good card. Well, I'd rather run that into a counterspell than run the Necro. Yeah. Reject Imperfection. So now it's all sorts of unblockable and whatnot. Got it. I see what you were doing there. No. Sure. You keep me in the game long enough and I can very quickly turn this around. Well, I'm still going to block, because I can. Okay. So target creature gets, you know, minus X, and so on and so forth, and you hit me. Okay. Nice. Nice. This guy has everything going for them. Compared to us. Attack. Ow. I land. It proliferates. We only have the one lifelink card. It's the only downside here is we're basically on a 4-turn clock, and I don't have much that I can do here. So now I just swing out because I gotta force the toxic issue. That's 5, but he can't. I don't think, because reach trample, yeah, needs to keep something back for the trampler. Trampler hits for 6 too, and we know we have good cards, but yeah, block, keep your Glistener Seer alive. Draw a card, and then if you have a pump spell, I'm dead. Which you have a full grip. So I don't know what cards are in your deck, but you have a full grip, so I assume I'm dead here. Good old proliferation. Okay. Okay. What's next? The Trampler had to die, because I could then force damage through. Okay. You have a blocker. That's all I got. I don't have lifelink, so it doesn't matter. That's all I got. I needed to draw either a pump spell or something. Man. No, just a pump spell, really. And there's 3 of them in there. or removal, because removal would have taken that thing off. Like the fact that we just lost to uh, a card that basically is, it's like, all right, I just proliferate. I win. It's like, okay. It was the 6-turn clock on the unblockable 3/3. Again, I can't make that card work for me. But credit to these people that can make it work for them. Hey, you got rid of my creature. I don't know what this does. So it's a 3/3 if it has oil counters on it. Well, alright. Cool. I cast it. You kill it. Right. I wish. Oh, do I wish I could be as good as LSV or these other people that can just magically do really well in limited, and you still have 3 mana. Great. I can't do anything about that. These people have the answers. Is it this set is just overrun with all just removal up the ass? I mean, I'm dead anyway. Now it doesn't matter. I go down to toxic. Okay. I make 2 mites. And I still can't block. So I take 2, but 2 becomes 2 additional ones, and I die. Like, no matter how good of a deck you build, something about this format I can't seem to crack. Like, I thought that one was pretty good. And okay, we can debate, like, you don't really need the black for these couple things, and you can run these other white cards that would lower your curve maybe a little bit. But even so, like, answer, or combat trick or something. And, alright, how am I supposed to keep a board long enough to cast something like that? Or, like, I just needed 1 turn. Like, if I could have survived with 9 poison, but no, this is adding additional poison. So I wasn't at 5, which would then become 7. No, I was at 7. And that was going to become 9, which in turn would become 11, which, is death. So, I mean, that was the lifelinker. I mean, it's like you run into the Wandering Emperor, which should be mythic. Let's not even talk about that. Oh, but it's 6 mana, and that's why it's not a mythic. Get out of here. That thing should be a mythic. So, I don't know how... Yeah. I'm supposed to get out of silver, let alone how I'm supposed... Like, these are pretty good, and maybe... Well, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, I haven't played Arena in a while, so of course I'm down here in silver, and you're starting from scratch effectively, drafting and constructed both. But all right, everyone else is doing that, and they're excited for the set. So you're running into the higher quality player or something like that. Maybe, but something's off. I just don't get it. Like, that's a bomb. And we never got to stick it. I mean, we won one game. One. It never, I never got enough mana to cast it because we won before we, that became relevant. Okay, gulping scrap trap was your problem, and you should have been running. I don't know what, but again, it's that this card's not the problem. That card's not the problem. It ate a counter spell in one of our matchups, so like that's fine. I think this is a good limited deck, and I'm just shocked that I I can't get anything to stick, and that's really irksome. Really, really irksome. This is your reward for spending money on our product. We're gonna make it so that you never win a game. I guess, Wizards. I guess. But as Bank of America has shown, Magic is the only thing making your parent company money, so great. What can I say? I'm a sucker for nostalgia, and there's a lot of nostalgia in this set, but man. Oh, I can't perform. It's like it just knows that I'm streaming, and nah, you're not gonna 7-0 when you stream. You're not gonna get it past 2 wins. Because I didn't. And that's just bad luck. And I didn't go down to 16 lands, I didn't go up to 18 lands. And maybe I need to. Maybe that's what it takes for Arena to not bone you on land. I don't know. Answer. There's a lot of removal, I guess, and it's... I developing a board presence. I just couldn't do it. We ran into Combat Trick McGee. We ran into, the Edict. Sheldred's Edict, I guess that's what it's called. It's Sheldred something, but it's an Edict. So, great. I mean, this has been a Zoibie Devil stream, and like I say, it's first one in a long time. Who's to say what the future holds? Because I am excited for this set, and I am playing it. But yeah, rough outing. Not much I can do about that. So enjoy your day, and hopefully your games of Phyrexia Pt.1 go a little bit better than mine, because that was rough. That was rough. And that's all I can say. At any rate, thank you very much, folks, and catch you next time.